Take a seat that allows your spine to be tall. We'll only just take the first few moments to resolve any incongruity. So let's start at the physical level. First, just take your awareness with closed eyes. Take your awareness down to the interface between your body and the floor, whatever you're sitting on. And see if it's possible to sit down just a little bit more. What you might notice is that the core body engages and it almost feels like you lean back a little bit, maybe. And then from that place, that rooted stability, take a little walk up the spine in your mind's eye and imagine the big pelvic structure and then the spine, the sacrum is there neatly tucked into the pelvic structure. And then as you walk your spine up to the space behind the belly button, just draw the belly button back a little bit. The vertebrae rest on top of one another perfectly. They're designed to articulate together. And they become a little more intricate as you rise up through the thoracic spine. When you get to the space behind your heart, bring your shoulder blades together as if to kiss behind you. And then continue to walk your mind's eye, just take that little trip up to the curvature at the base of the neck. Do this, tip your chin just a hair down. Feel the back of the neck lengthen and the crown of the head lift just slightly. Notice what you're thinking and drop it. Go to the breath now. Pour the next breath into your belly. Let it fill up your abdomen, your ribs, your chest. And on the out breath, draw the belly back. This is diaphragmatic breathing, and you're using the musculature to express the breath fully. And then drink it in again. Let it fill the base of the body first, like clean water in a clear vessel. You can watch yourself fill up and then exhale, press the abdomen, the musculature of the abdominal wall into your cervix. Let it roll the breath out. We're going to live here for one more minute. One more time, just check in. What are you thinking? Drop it. Just discard it and tune into the breath, this luxuriant, sweet, simple, elegant breath. Beginning our physical practice with yoga of the voice. I'll ask you to unite your palms together in front of your heart. Draw the fingers close to one another, but with no strain. And this just to maintain the charge of our mantra within the system. 3 times the sound Om together. Inhale. Om. 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 Please lift the corners of your mouth and smile. And then bow your head to your heart and smile on your own precious heart here. And really resolve being fully here for yourself. Mind, body, and spirit. Smiling. And then lift the gaze and open the eyes. We'll get started. If you're still comfortable in your seat, stay. If you need to adjust your seat, do that at any point. But let's go ahead and bring the hands onto the hips. Start to rotate the fingers up towards their respective armpits. And if you've got to take one hand and stick it into position, that's fine too. Flare out the fingers very broadly. Check in again with your spine. Root down. Sit down a little bit deeper. And what happens? Can you feel that abdominal wall start to work in your favor here? And then from that rootedness, you grow up, 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 up through the crown of the head. Right here, you want to be as big as you can be and simultaneously as relaxed as you can be. Now, part of the bigness is in the form of sensation. And so on the next exhale, the chin dips down towards the chest, and already there's going to be new sensation, new aspects of your bigness. Okay? Be okay to be big, even in sensation. Now exhale again, and on the next inhale, roll one ear over to one shoulder. It doesn't matter which way you go. Just take it over on the in breath. And then on the out breath, chin tips towards the chest again. Next inhale, opposite ear to opposite shoulder. So let's just touch back on this idea again. You want to be as big as you are, as big as you can be, as large as your expression and experience will allow, while also maintaining as much relaxation as possible. And so this is a reconciliation. Yeah. When you find the edge of sensation, just linger on the soft side so that you can imbibe in a full breath. If there is so much sensation that you can't breathe effectively, then you're getting too big for your britches. Back off of the sensation and go back to the relaxation component, okay? And so let's give this another, I don't know, 4 or 5 breaths. When you are balanced and symmetrical, bring the head back up to neutral. If you don't have your eyes closed, do close your eyes for this part. And that is, once the head is at neutral, you release the hands and you're taking your attention to observe the hands. And here, please qualify the sensation to yourself. Tell yourself, okay, now there's tingling over here, and there's a little heat over here, and a little cold over here, and a little circulation sensation, right? Figure it out. Feel into that. Good. Next part. You can try a little yoga of listening, just to play, and then maybe open your eyes to make a reference if you feel like it. But it's a super simple process of just drifting the left fingertips down towards the floor. Taking the right arm over the head, semicircling the head with the arm. And then once your right hand meets the left ear, press the head into the hand to align the neck, and then draw the head over to the right. You'll know whether you want to tip the chin down a little bit. Be gentle, super gentle and careful if you take the chin up. Be so careful. At any point, you might open up your mouth as big as it can be and stick out your tongue as far as it'll go. We're going to stay for about a minute. Last invitation would be to lift the left arm up. Expressions of the hand start to get pretty juicy. And so right here, let your left arm, shoulder, and neck be as sensational as you can be, and also as relaxed as you can be while you explore 4 more breaths. Deep, deep abdominal breathing, deep diaphragmatic breathing. They call this pure breath. When you breathe into the belly first and fill up to the top, and then let it go from the base to the top, drawing the navel back and expressing the breath. When you finish here, just bring the hands to the thighs and the head to neutral. Eyes are closed for observation of the whole left side body, the whole left side body. Right fingertips touch the floor. Left hand semicircles up over the head. Once the fingertips find the right ear, press the head into the hand by, just like 20% or so. And once the cervical spine is aligned, you just drift the left ear towards the left shoulder. Gentle exploratory movement. So maybe the chin tips down. This is a real safe bet. A little more risky, so careful, is to tip the chin up. And then at any point in this process, you can just liven the mood by opening up your mouth real big and sticking your tongue out real far. Plenty of options in the right hand if you want to float the hand if you haven't already. Start to circulate the wrists, fingers. 1 minute. Pure breath, diaphragmatic breath. After the next exhale, bring the head to neutral, hands to rest on the tops of the thighs. Next, we'll shift to the knees. So recirculate as necessary. And do please put a little padding under your knees for this part. We're going to come to kneeling. Okay. So for the teachers, for the prospective teachers in the room, there are 3 levels of Parigasana, and that is gate pose. And so we're going to start gate pose at the middle level, okay? And we're going to discuss that in a little more depth momentarily. So this would be the happy medium, the likely accessible to everybody, just generally speaking, that can get on their knees. Right foot out to the right. Right hand just rests on the thigh. The orientation of the right toes is whatever, right? It just should be comfortable. Sole of the foot on the floor. Left arm rises up, a little internal rotation. So the palm faces inward. Now, big breath as you reach up, and then on the exhale, you're going to take it over to the right. Don't put any weight or pressure on the outside of the knee. Good. Now, let's try this to see if we can get a little more depth out of it. On an inhale, I'm going to invite you to bend the elbow and open the heart a little more towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you're going to really reach towards the right toes and see where you can go with that. Bend the elbow, open the heart, breathe in. Two more. Eats. Good. Now when you come up, plant your knee, give it a pause, to feel the difference between the two sides of the body again. It never fails to impress me. Just how vivid the difference is. Go ahead and give it a little baby back bend. So just put your hands in your back pockets, press the hips forward. Draw the front base ribs back into the body just a little bit. And now let the eyes lift up. Good. Come to middle. Take second side. Right arm rises. Sweep it over and just feel what this initial interface with the pose feels like. See where you're at. And then we're going to explore getting big with the breath and then advancing, perhaps, by just a little bit more. See where you can go. Last one. You'll come to the middle. Return left knee to the earth. Press back to a down dog. And now that you're here, wag your tail and shake your head yes and no. And then when you've worked through some of the kinks and you can take a static position, here's an invitation to re-explore your relationship with pure breathing, with diaphragmatic breathing. And so give it a go. You inhale and pull that breath into the deepest parts of your abdomen first. Fill up, fill up, fill up. And then on the exhale, draw the navel back and feel the breath being expressed like you're rolling out a tube of icing. Yeah, 2 more. Lovely. Make your way to the top of the mat, front of the mat. Press the feet and rise up. Good. So let's just straddle your mat for this. So find a good place that you can straddle the mat. We're going, probably 2 or 3 hip distance, maybe 3.5 feet apart. Good. Take the arms out to the left and the right. Build up your awareness of the spine again. Go to the tailbone. And if there was a string, this is a weird analogy. If there was a string hanging off your tailbone with a pendulum on it, you want it dropping directly down. So it's not tucked or thrust back, but it's dropping directly down. Front base ribs, draw into the body, which helps the tailbone to drop directly down. Shoulder blades come a little closer to each other as if to kiss. Heart is open. Chin parallel to the ground, crown of the head lifted. Diaphragmatic breathing. Flare out your fingers more. Turn the fingertips up towards the sky and begin to press through the heels of the hands, but only so much as you can manage the sensation. You can dig on how big the sensation is, but also still breathe. Go 2 more. Make your hands bigger than they've ever been before. And on that last exhale, you let go. Don't close your eyes, but do soften your gaze. Right hand is on the right thigh, left arm reaches to the sky. Here's our second iteration of Parigasana. This is also gate pose, but here we are standing on the feet. A little softness in the knees, okay, that's important. And then go ahead and sweep, sweep, sweep over to the right. Now you're looking for this sort of line of energy that goes from the left fingertips all the way to the outer edge of the left foot. And then you're also noticing the distribution of weight between the feet. Is it possible to maintain an kind of an equilibrium between the distribution of weight? Good. Now we'll add 3. Elbow, open heart, breath in. Lengthen the arm, extend, see if you can find a little more depth. Yeah. Beautiful, Sydney. Yeah. And then you inhale, come up, observe. Right arm, internally rotated, go there. Excellent alignment, Michelle. Beautiful focus. Distribution of weight between the feet, a little softness in the knees. When you're ready, 3 of these. Up to the middle. Pause. Right. Okay. Let's do this. Bring the feet hip distance apart. And here's our vinyasa. Let your left foot travel back and your right foot just a little bit to the right. Go ahead and take a bend in the front knee and square up your hips. Good. Right hand on the ribs. Left hand to the sky. Good. Inhale, long spine, long right leg. Exhale, turn a little bit to the right and bow just to halfway. Right hip draws back towards the back wall. Beautiful adjustment. That was glorious. Can you feel the back foot as heavy as the front foot? On the next exhale, let the left fingertips come to the floor. Pull the right hip back some more. Turn your belly button to the right. Turn your belly button and ribs to the right. The heart. The head. Nice use of props here. Well done. Unwind. Release your right hand, left hand to the floor, bend into the front knee, pivot on the back toes. Let's go to plank. Good. Please excuse the redundancy if you've heard this before, but it bears repeating. Here's your inner upper thighs. You're going to spiral your inner upper thighs towards the sky. And what this does is it distributes the agency into the correct musculature. Now, there should be some softness in the space behind the heart. And so, as I've suggested before, you allow the shoulder blades to come a little closer to each other behind you. Yes, yes, yes. Now, spiral the inner upper thigh. Good. Now, see if you can press the heels back and the crown of the head forward. Oh, nice. Deep breath in, big abdominal breathing. And then on the exhale, use the abdominal wall to express the breath as you release the body to the floor. Come on down. Stack the hands on the sacrum. Shrug the shoulders, then draw the shoulder blades together, and then let them slide down your back as you lift just the torso. Thighs are close together. Toenails press into the floor. Try a diaphragmatic breath now. Let this next inhale lift you as high as you can get. And then on the exhale, relax. Let the hands come down. Bring the left ear on top of your hands. Right ear. Bring your hands onto either side of your chest. Spread the fingers broadly. Put the whole real estate of your palms down. And then hug your elbows in like little grasshopper legs. Turn the toes under. Press into the heels and lift the thighs up off of the floor. Good. Now, hands press down, elbows hug in. On your next big belly breath, rise up. Top of the push-up. Bravo. That was beautiful. Yes. You can come to the knees first if you need to. Down dog. Be as big as you can be. And also as relaxed as you could be. Two more diaphragmatic breaths here. Really fill the abdomen. Next breath takes you to the front. Emerge. Move with the breath. Transition to this variation of warrior one. Right arm rising, left hand stuck in the rib cage. Inhale, lengthen the front leg. Exhale, turn and bow to halfway. Good. Notice the distribution of energy between the feet. See if you can draw the left hip back some more. Add diaphragmatic breathing. Ooh. And then when you're ready to let go, right hand travels down to the foot, the floor, or a block, and you begin to rotate the navel to the left. And the ribs. And the heart. The head. And then unwind, bend into the front knee, pivot on the back toes, move back to plank. Heels and crown extend oppositely. In your hands, the weight is in the index finger and thumb particularly. At the thighs, the inner upper thighs are spiraling towards the sky. At the heart, there's a little meltiness. At the face, there's a little smile. And on the exhale, keep the elbows hugged in neatly as you descend Chaturanga Dandasana. Stack the hands on the sacrum. Fly the legs up, feet, knees, thighs. Now shrug the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades together, let them glide down your back as you lift the torso a little higher off the mat. Two more deep breaths. When it's time to rest, bring the hands, take one ear down, close your eye. Second side. When you're ready, come up to the right elbow, bend into the left knee. Oh, yeah, reach your, nope. Take it back, bend into the right knee. Right elbow, right knee. Now, reach your left hand back and get hold of the right foot. There it is, right. From here, give a kick. Yeah, and you can also press down with your hands on the floor. There's a third option, take it or leave it, which would be to see if you can get both hands around that ankle. 3 belly breaths. Activate the foot. So you got something to hold on to and it keeps your knee super safe. What is it here to hug the knees a little closer to the midline and kick a little higher? Go ahead and let go. Take a rest. Come up to the left elbow, bend the left knee. Let your right hand reach back. Active foot. Start to give it a kick. Different side. Might be a whole different experience. After you finish a breath, let go and rest. Next posture would be the full wheel, but we're gonna put a little fun in it. And so you'll bend the left knee, reach with the right hand. You'll bend the right knee and reach with the left hand. Huh. Okay, how about this? Bend the knees, cross the ankles, and go for a foot. So you want to hug the knees together a little bit. And then once you're willing, you start to press into the pose. So if the legs won't cross, go for respective. Yeah, good. Two more breaths. Let go and rest. Okay. You'll lift up enough that you can roll over to your left side. And then you're going to bend the right knee in so much that you can then tuck the left elbow in to perhaps meet the right knee. And then once you're there, you can kind of roll towards the back body. This one might be kind of tangy on the pectoral muscles. So just be real gentle with your exploration of the right shoulder. It might feel nice to just bring the right hand kind of behind your head a little bit and just let your elbow hang out there. Because it's less about stretching through that shoulder and more about creating a little bit of torsion in the spine. You got it. Yeah. Close your eyes. Use the breath to make this pose big and full of sensation, but also you're as relaxed as you can be while you observe the process. Nice. Unwind to the belly. So we're going to come prone one more time so we can do the second side. You're just going to tuck the left knee in and see if you can bring your right elbow to meet it. What a difference. Wow. 4 breaths. Diaphragmatic breathing. Now, when you come out of the pose, you're just going to roll onto your back and maybe just reposition on the mat. Bring your feet onto the floor, knees bent. Snuggle the shoulder blades, excuse me, up underneath you. Hands are down by your hips. And we're going to do a technique now called Agni Bhavana. So you need your imagination for this. Take your awareness to the navel center where the fire lives. We've been building this fire here at the navel. And you want to nourish and nurture that fire by bringing fuel and oxygen to it. So let's start with the rudiments. It's dynamic bridge, pressing the feet into the floor, lift the hips up, sweep the arms beyond the head towards the front of the room. On the out breath, return the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. The hips land about the same time as the hands. Go again. Pressing the feet down as you inhale, lifting the hips, reaching the arms. Exhale, return. That's it. Okay. The fire at the navel is refreshed when we inhale and bring oxygen down, down, down to the fire. Exhale, lift fuel from the base of the body, anything stale or stagnant that you want to put on the fire. Keep going. Inhale, energy moves down to the fire. Exhale, energy moves up to the fire. Keep going. The last piece of this puzzle is an Om on the exhale. Om. Let your voice do the work. Om. Inhale, oxygen moves down to the fire, and exhale. Using the vibration to bring fuel to the fire. 2 more. Lengthen the legs along the floor. Next technique is Tadaka Mudra. You can't do this wrong. Just do your best. Weave the fingers together. Turn the heels of the hands up towards the sky and now reach them beyond the head. And so now the body is long like a staff on the floor. Exactly. Very nice. You're going to reach the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet away from one another, getting really long and strong in the body. Now breathe in. Full portion of breath. On the out breath, let the chin tip towards the chest without lifting the head off the floor. Let the navel drop down towards the spine. At the base of the breath, lift the pelvic floor and then maybe go back and compress the organs up underneath the ribs just a little bit more. Stay empty, stay empty, stay empty. When you need to breathe in, reverse it. Root, navel, chin, let's go. Arms and legs, let go, and you rest. Please do that again. Fingers woven together, heels of the hands pressing away from the heels of the feet. Full portion of breath, and then you add the bandhas. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, pelvic floor lifting. Stay empty, empty, empty for a time. When you need to breathe in, you will. Please do that one more time. Remembering as much of it as you can and executing it in a slow, steady, focused manner. So you have 3 stations of the block. I think it's always prudent to start at the middle station because then you have options to either reduce the height or increase the height. That's just my methodology, but feel free to do whatever it is that is easiest and most functional for your body right now. We want the placement of the block closer to the tailbone than to the waist. Good. Allow the feet to travel towards the edges of the mat, about as broadly as the mat, and then let the knees drop in towards one another. They may or may not meet. Good. If this is satisfying and you want to stay here, you can. If you're ready for an alternative, you let the knees drift away from each other, walk your feet towards each other, and bring the soles of the feet together as the knees drift out to the left and the right. Diaphragmatic breathing. Whenever you can remember. If you're satisfied and you want to stay, stay. But if you're moving on to the next cue, it would be bring the soles of the feet back flush to the floor. Then lengthen only the right leg, heel resting on the earth. We're isolating the right sacroiliac joint, the right SI joint. Gently change legs. Add the right leg, lengthening the right leg next to the left, both at the same time. And now your body is draped over this block, really like a beautiful bridge. So gentle as you bring the feet back onto the floor, very aware of all of the toes pressing down to lift the hips up, and then return the hips to the ground, windshield wiper knees side to side. Determine if you need props for comfort. If you'd like a blanket or a pillow, or to cover yourself up, if you want to cast a bolster underneath your thighs.